Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to WCS America Qualifiers. I'm Sham2, and with me is the beautiful Axel Toss, and on Skype is Mouse Illusion. So we're going to be getting into our next game of Center versus Jaedong. What are you thinking?
Well, Jaedong looked pretty unstoppable in that last game, so I feel like I wouldn't be surprised by a 2-0 by any means, but remember, this is the map where Center played against Xenio and he literally ripped him apart. I know I hate saying that, but that's what happened. Center played a fantastic game, so I feel like he's going to be very confident in this map. And there's definitely a good chance he can even up the series. You know, when talking about the game, it kind of came down to Xenio trying to take a fourth base, but he was just unable to because Center was absolutely everywhere. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Jaedong could win, but I think Center definitely has a decent chance of tying up the series.
Center is definitely going to play differently this time. I think what he was trying to do last game was trying to showcase a different style of play in case Jaedong was watching that last series. Or looking for the builder just to see like what he's doing. So he didn't want Jaedong to know exactly what he was going to do. But in the end, what Center did was pretty gimmicky. It was he was rushing to tech, which was Hellbats and Medevac, and what Jaedong was doing was an all-in that completely countered whatever Center was going to do after he started teching. So I think Center's going to play more macro-oriented, more bio-heavy early on, and try not to go too greedy, but try not to go too techy either.
And I like this already. I mean, this is a really long rush distance map. It looks like he's going to be going straight for that 14cc, putting out that first SCV and rebuilding it on the top of his ramp, making that nice little wall. There's that CC now. And that's, you know, it's one of my favorite builds. We kind of saw Flash start to make it more popular against TVP right before Wings of Liberty ended and Heart of the Swarm started back up. But I think a lot of Terrans are trying to use this on this map. What are you thinking about that, Illusion?
I've been seeing this a lot as well. They'll go for the barracks and then take a gas instead of going for the old style, which was 2 racks before gas, and then getting double gas earlier. But nowadays, Terrans tend to just get 1 gas and go for reactor Hellions. But he hasn't taken his gas yet, so he might actually be going 3cc, which should be pretty interesting. Hero Marine on my team does that a lot, but the gas goes down now, which I'm not sure why he delayed it an extra supply. He had the money for a while, but it's not going to affect his timings too much.
Yeah, I mean, Jaedong, look at that, immediately putting down the third hatchery. Like, I don't see, some Zerg players will see like a fast command center and then, you know, try to abuse it somehow. Obviously, it's very hard to make work sometimes, but I don't see Jaedong being someone to do that. So, very early 3 hatcheries here from Jaedong, so definitely happy on going into the late game, and that shows that he's the type of player who, you know, the better player generally wants the game to go longer because that gives them more time to really, you know, take advantage of their supreme multitasking, decision-making, so on and so forth. So, you know, I'm not too surprised at all to see Jaedong go for this many hatcheries this early.
Yeah, he's going to get a really nice economic lead, and then as soon as that, he's just going to swarm out units, look for any type of opening in Center's play, and really just take advantage of that. And that's, I mean, Jaedong, that's just Jaedong.
Yep.
He is the completely insurmountable Zerg player that he is. He takes out Flash. I mean, he takes out God.
Yeah.
How can Center compete? But Center, I'm rooting for him because I'm a Terran myself.
Yeah, he took 2 gases early on, so he's going up to teching again. No early third command center, or at least not reasonably, not too early. But yeah, this is pretty standard build from Center. I don't think he's gonna try and do anything gimmicky such as a Hellbat drop or Widow Mine drop. But Jaedong right here, he doesn't have his gases. I think Center's scouted that, so he's not too scared of a speedling rush or anything. A lot of players nowadays will go 3 hatch gas then pull so they can get early map control from Hellions, but Jaedong opted to go for more queens, and he's actually making 2 more queens now, so he's going to be up to 5 queens. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 6th one, and he's just trying to get some drones and increase Regon before he does anything.
I mean, we do have this nice little area right here that I think that those Hellions can take perfect advantage of. You also have a pretty wide open natural once you get past that little choke, that, you know, kind of large choke point as well. So hopefully those Hellions can do a little bit of work, get some map control, take advantage of the very spread out 3 bases.
There's the armory.
But yeah, wow, Hellbats again.
He's actually doing this again. Maybe he feels more confident now because he knows his 3 hatch play, and he still has no gases, so he can't really be doing a road troll or anything. So this might actually be a reaction, but he could have also planned it. You know, like maybe he won't expect it this time, that type of thing. But yeah, this will actually work out pretty well for him if he scouts right and attacks at the correct place. Oh, and an earlier command center. Oh, he was going for a command center, but he actually put down a depot. I'm kind of curious as to why he didn't just put it down.
This is very interesting. Let's take a look at the income tab. It's 48 to 32, using those queens, those injects, those droning abilities of the master Jaedong himself.
Yep. You know, and this is going to be interesting because again, we're going to see this play where we're going to see Hellbat drops, and we've seen Jaedong just power out those drones, and now it's going to be up to him to prevent these Hellbat drops from doing too much damage. He's adding a spine collar, I think that must be his third base, but you know, it's going to come down to that. Like, if Jaedong can get through this harassment with, you know, limiting the number of drones he actually loses, he's going to be in a great position heading on into the mid game.
But I mean, look at Jaedong's Overlord spread. He's got Overlords pretty much everywhere except for one small little sliver of the map. But for the most part, they're all the most frequented drop lines. So
we'll see if Center makes a Viking, right? Like he did last game.
I don't think.
Yeah, I remember he was
no,
escorting
he
a
Viking straight to
Viking.
Yes.
So not in the last game, but the games before he was doing that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it later on. But the 2 Medivacs and with the 4 Hellbats, and they're going straight for the main. There's actually nothing there at the moment. Speed is about to complete, and there's only Zerglings, no Roaches, and no Spines in the main. So this should actually do a lot of damage, but Jaedong shouldn't be set too far behind as long as he pulls them away, because he's been producing drones this whole time, and right now is when he wants to produce a lot of units. So this timing right here is actually pretty strong for the Terran, and he's going to get the Queen and a lot of drones.
Oh yeah, and here come all of those Zergling running in, but the Medivacs do heal them back up as well, and with all of those Hellbats in such a tight formation, the splash damage all overlaps and those Zerglings melt in a second.
You just want to engage with Speedlings. I mean, I don't even think he has a Roach for it, so like, what are his options as far as killing these Hellbats? He's having a really tough time doing it.
I mean, I think his biggest option right now is to try and focus down those Medivacs that are healing those Hellbats right back up with those Queens, and that's exactly what he's doing. He took out one of the Medivacs. One of them does get away with only one Hellbat, so he does lose a lot. Center does lose a lot. Only 6 drones killed, though.
He's losing more in the natural right now, and he actually just ran right in the Medivacs, and nothing was there, and he's actually doing a lot of damage with this.
Oh, those drones are just sitting idly, and they're getting completely toasted. So original Hellions were line them up. What is Hellbats?
He's got some in the main too. I think they're cleaned up. There we go.
Yeah.
He actually has that Viking now to kill all the Overlords. Oh, is this drop still alive? No. How many? Got 20 workers. This is definitely
20 workers out of that, and now hunting down the Overlords as well. Actually, Jaedong doesn't have too much of a surplus of Overlords either. If he loses one more, he's going to be in the red.
I would love to see Center take another command center. I wish his name wasn't a barcode. It's so hard to just remember, but he's been having a lot of money this whole time, and the Korean style where you go bio mine, which is what he's doing, revolves around getting like super early economy and then throwing down barracks as your reactors are making, so you can keep producing Marines, and then once your other set of barracks are finished, throw down another command center, throw on more reactors, Cyclops, and throw down another command center, keep doing that over and over. But his builds, I like the idea of it, but it's been really sloppy generically. His armory has always been late, so he could never get the 4 Hellbats like perfectly on time with the 2 Medivacs coming out. It's always been like 20 seconds later, and 20 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but it can actually do a lot of damage. And he's sending a 4 Marine drop into the main base right now. He actually has 2 Widow Mines there, I think.
Yep.
And
yeah, he has a Widow Mine, but it did actually go down on the Overlords, unfortunately. So he's going to be able to take out that Widow Mine, hopefully by the time this Overseer respawns. There we go. And it's going to take out that Widow Mine. He's done that drop before, if I remember correctly, where he drops the Widow Mine on one side of the mineral line and then drops 4 Marines on the other to keep the Zerg busy, and then as soon as the drones go back, the Widow Mine has a nice ability to take out a lot of drones at once.
yeah, this is looking a lot like the game he had earlier versus Zenio, I believe. And the Viking actually has 5 Overlord kills, so he's denying all the vision on the left side once again, so he's going to repeatedly do that drop.
And look, he's heading toward that. It looks like he's slowly kind of posturing his way towards the middle right-hand side of the map, which is the exact base that Zenio had so much trouble getting up. We'll have to see if this changes at all in Jaedong's case. We're seeing Center really start charging up in that supply count. His production is approaching the ridiculous state. Of course, 9 Marines in production at a time. Plenty of Widow Mines as well. We got an attack here from Jaedong. Lings and Mutila's going to be taking out a supply depot at the 3rd base, but Center going to have plenty enough to deal with that. But again, Center doing a great job so far, just keeping that production up. And I feel like a push out towards that 4th base should be inevitable.
Jaedong making a #1 out of his creep tremors. I don't think that's actually intentional, but that's what I saw was a #1. Just proving his dominance. But here comes another drop. Yeah, just the 4 Marines from before. It looks like they're going to get cleaned up. Not too much damage from them, but still, 20 workers have been killed in total by center.
I like how Jaedong has spine closed and sports in the main base to prepare for that. That's something Zenio never had a chance to do because he was so low on money. But yeah, center just constantly moving out. With this type of style, I would love for him to have taken the right base as the third base so he can defend his base while being aggressive. It's something a lot of the Terrans like to do nowadays. And yeah, he's going to annihilate any force that comes to him. He's up by 20 supply, but the only problem he has is that he forgot to start his 2-2 right away, and any big game timing will pretty much crush center if Jaedong plays it correctly.
Ooh, Widowmine's getting some pretty nice connects. All the mutants actually getting cleaned up by the Marines as the Zerglings were trying to run around. Here come the Banelings.
No speed.
But a beautiful split and no speed is going to make them pretty ineffective as center now pushes on over to the 4th base. There's also a little bit of action going on at the natural. Looks like some damage was done there. But the 4th base is really what matters here as it goes down. Jaedong falling behind center, 160 to 128 in the food supply count.
Wow. This is looking a lot like that Magic and Zenio. Again, shutting down that 4th base, continuing drops. I think there's another medevac heading up along the right-hand side of the map, up to, like, towards the 3rd. Yep, there it is. So again, center prioritizing the draw play, continuing with that production, willing to make these trades. But again, I'm starting to worry about a 4th base. I feel like a 4th base, like Chris said before, at that location just above his main would be a great decision at this point. We'll definitely keep an eye on that, but center in a great position, up about 40 in that supply count.
And you know, center was behind in upgrades, but he's got these the 2-2 coming in, and Jaedong hasn't had the opportunity to go into Hive Tech and start his 3-3 on his melee, so he's going to be actually paired back up with Jaedong in upgrades pretty shortly. The Mutalisks are cleaning up that drop, but you know, just having the forces go back and forth, here comes another drop in the natural. Once again, the Marines doing so much damage here. We have 28 workers killed here by center. I mean, he's doing damage slowly but surely, and just slowly taking pretty good lead in this game.
Yeah, once again, he's denying the 4th base over and over. He has a Widow Mine sitting at the right base. It has 12 kills. I think it's killed 3 drones so far every time it's gone over there. And the big fight here, and Jaedong doesn't have anything to do anything against the
Widow Mines get some beautiful connects there, and that's going to deny all of the Zergling. There's only Mutalisks left, and you know what's great against Mutalisks? Marines.
The Marines.
Marines are pretty good. There's the GG. Wow. Well played from center.
Jaedong is taken out in game number 2 here, so we're going to go on to game number 3, 1-1 with center.
Guys, stay tuned.